All right, so the new week is just about to start, and before you take your next trade, I want you to follow each and everything that I'm about to teach you in this video. I literally do not understand why people overcomplicate trading so much. You do not need quarterly theory, you do not need standard deviations, you do not need ICT 2023 mentorship. You literally need to understand this one small thing, and once you do that, all you need to do is implement what you learned from this video into the real charts. Now, I want you to backtest after watching this video. I do not want you to jump straight into the charts, but I want you to backtest and see for yourself how simple trading can literally change your life. I literally do not understand why people are always on YouTube searching for this new strategy that never exists. It never existed before and it will never exist. The Holy Grail is not there, but this thing, it is literally the closest thing to Holy Grail because that's literally how price moves. So here's what you really need to know. Price only does two things. It goes out to take out highs and lows, and once it takes out the highs and lows, it goes to the fair value gap. And it goes to the fair value gap, and from there onwards, it goes out to take out the highs or the lows. Literally very simple. So here is the chart, right? Now, every single high or low is called external range liquidity, right? And every single fair value gap is called internal range liquidity. So over here, you can see I have the ERL, which is external range, and I have the IRL, which is the internal range. Now, there's this one thing called time frame alignment. So you have to understand this thing because this is very, very important for this strategy. Now, here's how the time frame alignment works. If you are a swing trader, you should be using this time frame. So monthly, daily, and 1 hour time frame combination or time frame alignment. So basically, you're gonna find your bias on the monthly time frame. You're gonna look for confirmation on the daily time frame, and then you're going to take your entry on the 1 hour time frame. Similarly, if you are an intermediate term trader, right, you can look for, weekly, 4 hour, and 15-minute combination. So basically, you're gonna look for your bias on the weekly time frame. You're gonna look for confirmation on the 4 hour time frame, and you're going to take your entry on the 15-minute time frame. And if you are basically, a day trader, I would say use the daily, 1 hour, and 5-minute time frame combination. Now you're gonna find your bias on the daily, you're gonna look for confirmation on the 1 hour, and you're gonna take your entry on the 5-minute time frame. So let's assume that this over here is the daily, 1 hour, and 5-minute combination. All right, now let's move on to the entire strategy. So now that you have understood that price only does two things, it goes from external to internal or from internal to external, you need to understand that you need to understand that we have to look for confirmation. Because what price can simply do is take out ERL and then go up from here, all right? But once we get the confirmation, then we can be 100% sure that, okay, we can make a guess like price is not going into the IRL. So let's assume this is the daily time frame, right? On the daily time frame, you have to look for price to take out any sort of ERL, could be any high or low, okay? Now, once price takes out the high on the daily time frame, right? So we're gonna use our dealing range as a reference. So you mark out the low and the high, right? Oops, my bad. And we're gonna use the 0.5 level. Now, anything below, if there's a fair value gap below the 0.5 level, that is beautiful because price will mostly go into the discount. But we're gonna use the dealing range, right? From this low to this high. If there's any fair value gap, right, inside this range, you can expect that price can fill that fair value gap out. All right. Now, if there is a fair value gap, let's say, or IRL here, but there is no fair value gap here, that is invalid because we are only looking at this range for reference. So make sure you remember that. All right. So let's assume there's a IRL in this range. Now, once on the daily ERL is taken out, all you do is drop down to the 1 hour time frame. Now, once you drop down to the 1 hour time frame, you're looking for a market structure shift on the 1 hour time frame. Now, once you get the market structure shift, your bias will be confirmed. All right. So once you get on the market structure shift on the 1 hour, after price takes out ERL on the daily, your bias is confirmed that, okay, now from here onwards, price is going into the IRL. So now, how do you actually enter, right? So here is my strategy. So I'm looking for a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low to form. I'm looking for every single lower high to be purged, and after it gets purged, I'm dropping down to the 5-minute time frame to take my entry. So on the 1 hour time frame, we have a market structure shift, then we have a lower high, and then a lower low. And over here, we have a lower high formed. Now, once price takes out the buy side liquidity, which is this lower high, I'm dropping down to 5-minute time frame. So that's when we're gonna look to take our entry. So after price takes out lower high, we're looking for a 5-minute market structure shift. We're going to take our entry from the auto block or a fair value gap, and we're going to target this low here. So this low right here on the 1 hour time frame is going to be our take profit level. And we can do this again and again until our daily time frame IRL is hit. All right. So let's assume that the target was hit. Now price creates another lower high on the 1 hour time frame. So let me remove this. We have a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. Now make sure you remember this thing. This is very, very important. The liquidity sweep that I'm around here, the lower high must be swept during kill zone hours, or basically after 2 a.m. New York time. If the liquidity sweep happens during the Asian session, that is invalid. All right, so make sure this liquidity sweep happens after 2 a.m. New York time. So over here, we have a lower high formed. We look for a purge above this, right? Once the purge happens on the 1 hour time frame, we drop down to 5-minute time frame. From there onwards, we look for a market structure shift, and we take our entry and we target this. We keep on doing this until the IRL is hit. And similarly, if I flip the chart, it applies the same to, you know, the buy side. The market maker buy models. So essentially what it is, this is basically market maker sell models and market maker buy models. So over here, every single take profit level. So once, you know, the 1 hour lower high is purged and we get a 5-minute market structure shift, that's going to be your 5-minute market maker sell model in alignment with your daily time frame bias, right? So that is pretty much it. And make sure, of course, your entry is also during kill zone hours. And this works on every single pair, every single asset, and even on crypto. So don't worry if you are, you know, worried about finding setups, because you're going to find a bunch of setups and high quality setups. All right, so now let's move on to the examples. I'm going to teach you each and everything. And then this is going to be extra crystal clear for you guys. All right, guys, before moving on to the examples, I want to talk about the Blue Guardian prop firm. Honestly, it is one of the best prop firms out there. I've been in the prop firm industry for way too long now, and I can tell you it is one of the best out there. So they offer up to 85% profit split, and the prices are very, very low. Also, they have this rapid evaluation program. You only need to pass the challenge once, meaning you only need to hit 10% once. And once you do that, you get the entire account to yourself. So there's a link down in the description. Click on it and use the code FAZSMC to get 10% off on your next purchase. All right, everybody. So here is example number 1. I'm looking at GBP AUD, and you can see that we had taken out the external range liquidity on the daily. So we also had this fair value gap into discount, which is your IRL. So now we're going to drop down to 1 hour time frame and see what happened. So after the ERL on the daily was taken out, we looked for a market structure shift, right? And once that happened, we were looking for a lower high formation. And if you look closely here, we had a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. So this candle right here, well, was both a lower low and a lower high. Now over here, we have this high, right? And over here, this is going to be our take profit level. So if I go just around here, you can see that we had a buy side purge here, and that was also during kill zone hours. So now if I drop down to 5-minute time frame, you're going to clearly see that we had a market structure shift just around here, and then we have this auto block. And you can clearly see the precision in this. So we went short just around here. Our take profit level was here. And I would have put my stop somewhere around here, maybe around here, to get 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Very simple. Let's move on to the next example now. All right, guys. So here is another example. I'm looking at GBP AUD once again, and that's on the 4-hour time frame this time. So you can see that we took out external range liquidity, and over here, what do we have? We have internal range. So now after price has taken out the ERL on the 4-hour, we're gonna go to the 15-minute time frame to look for a market structure shift that is gonna confirm our bias. So now if I go to the 15-minute, you can see that I'm currently looking at the market structure shift, and if I play this through, you're gonna see that we got market structure shift. That is gonna confirm that we are going towards this fair value gap. Now, to take our entry, we have to look for a lower high formation, and we have to look for a liquidity sweep during the kill zone hours. So if I play this through quickly, so that's 12, and that is 12, right? So now we are looking for a lower high formation, and there we have a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. So if I play this through, you can see that price just swept this lower high, and we have this low as our take profit level. So now if I go to the 1-minute time frame, I'm looking for a market structure shift, and over here we do get a market structure shift, and you're gonna notice that of this auto block, right, our initial entry is gonna be from this auto block, but you can see that we took a loss here, and that is absolutely normal. The reason why I showed a losing trade is because I do not want to, I don't want to make your expectations very high. Your win rate is going to be around 60 to 65%, right? And it can go up to 70% if you do everything correctly. But please note that I'm not going to sell you a fake dream. 60% initially, even it could be 55 or 50. As long as you're making money, you should be happy. As long as you're making 3 to 4% per month, that should be more than enough. All right. But we then once again get a market structure shift. And this time you're going to notice we have an auto block here, right? And we have a market structure shift just around here. So now we're going to take our entry just around here. Boom. And our take profit level could be this low, right? So if I play this through, we're going to see that we had a beautiful entry, right? So now once the sell program is active, every single PD array is going to be respected. So we have this auto block, right? And this auto block was respected, right? Then we have this auto block around here, and you can see that was also respected, and the take profit level was hit. So you could have scaled in here or whatnot, but literally this is all you need. Let me give you guys one more example, and then I will end the video. All right, everybody. So here is the last example. I'm looking at AUD/JPY on the daily. So on the daily, you can see we have taken out the ERL, and on the daily we have the IRL, which was our draw on liquidity. So if I go to the 1-hour time frame, that's what I see. So after the ERL was taken out, we had a market structure shift just around here. And if I just remove this and remove this, you can see we had a formation of a lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. So this around here was a lower high, right? And that was swept. So now this around here was our take profit level. So if I go just around here, and if I drop down to 5-minute time frame, you're gonna see that we had a lower high swept, right? Then we had a market structure shift. And from here onwards, you can see that every single PD array was respected. So we had this auto block, right? This auto block was respected as well. And we had then this auto block, and then we had this, right? And we then had a sweep, market structure shift, fair value gap, just around here. Oops, my bad. Right? And we probably had a sweep once again. Yep. And finally, at the end, we had this fair value gap, and you can clearly see that the take profit level was hit. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you guys learned something from this. Please do this week. Do not do anything else. And trust me, you're going to see like insane results, guys. Trust me. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, I have a challenge passing service. So if you're looking for a challenge passing service that is very cheap, for just $200 one-time payment, doesn't matter the account size, we are going to pass your challenge. If you need more information, check out the free Discord in the description and you can find out more about it. Anyways, I'll see you guys next weekend. Thank you for watching.